Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. We're going to talk about is being a virtual assistant for you? And I am very excited about this topic. I know that a lot of you signed up for the session, and I'm really excited to answer your questions and to hear what's on your mind. And one of the things is that there are a lot of misconceptions out in the world about what a virtual assistant is. And so today we're just going to quiet the noise and really get down to what is a virtual assistant? What kind of work do you do? And answer a lot of the questions. All right. So come on in and let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know where you're coming in from as we dive in. Awesome. Okay. Now, some of you have heard about being a virtual assistant and you're saying, is this for me? Right? Is this for me? Maybe a friend or a spouse has said, this is your perfect next step, right? But you've got a bunch of questions. So today we're going to answer them. Now, my name is Belinda Sandor, and I have been a full-time virtual assistant since 2010, and I'm the founder of the VA Connection. And the VA Connection is a professional online community with almost, we're like this close, 29,000 members in 47 countries. And I work with established and aspiring VAs to help them create, grow, and scale their businesses using the skills they already have. Because I want you guys to really get down to work and start to bring in that income that you want right away. And we do this in our free online community, in our courses, and our coaching programs. So welcome. So let me introduce myself for a minute, and then we're going to dive in. All right. So I started my business as a virtual assistant in a pretty rocky time of my life. I was in a lot of transition. I guess is the best way to put it. I was getting divorced. I had a ton of debt, hadn't been able to pay the mortgage for well over a year. And there was just a lot of stress. There was a lot of stress. And, you know, I needed to figure out what I was going to do. I didn't have a job. And Emily, this is my little daughter, Emily, she was 9 at the time. We had to move 3 times in 4 years before we found the right school district, you know, the right setup for us. And I was so overwhelmed, and I was so, my confidence was just crushed because I couldn't figure out how I got here. The plan was by the time I was 50, which I was just about to turn 50, you know, I would have a great job. I would have a home. I would have a happy marriage. You know, I would be a mom, you know, all the things. And so many of those things just weren't in place. And it was really discouraging. So, you know, I knew that getting a job wasn't going to do it. The kind of debt that had piled up with not being able to pay the mortgage and then the credit cards and, you know, and all the things was not the kind of situation where if I made $50,000 or $60,000 a year, I would be able to support us and manage that as well. So I started telling everyone I knew about doing admin work. I thought, okay, I was a secretary back in the dark ages. I knew how to do admin work. And so I knew that temping wasn't going to do it either. I did a little temping. And what I realized that there was a big demand for administrative work, which was my specialty, but people were paying my rate, right? Plus the temp agency. So I wanted to be able to get the entire piece of that and not put a cap on how much that I could make. And so I started telling everybody, okay, I'm doing admin work, you know, we're going to see what happens. And I got my first client at the school bus stop. And it was amazing. And that was just the beginning for me. And my story is longer, and there are places where you can go read about it, like at the vaconnection.com. But what I want to do is I want to jump ahead, because if you decide to be a virtual assistant and do the work that it takes to create a business, your business can look like this, which is I've worked with over 225 clients. I've been in business for 12 years, since 2010, and made actually well over $1 million from the corner of my house. I've worked in the corner of my living room, my dining room, my bedroom, and now I have my own office. Since we're almost empty nesters, I took over the middle bedroom, as we call it. But you don't need a lot of space. There's not a lot that you do need. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk all about what is a virtual assistant, what kind of work do you do, what do you need to get started, and then I'm going to tell you all about my program, VA School. Enrollment is open until tomorrow night at midnight, and I want to make sure that you know about it, okay? So be sure to stay with me till the end. All right, so let's start with the definition of a virtual assistant. I want to start here because there's a lot of people who are new to this, and being a VA is sometimes misunderstood and can cause a lot of confusion. If you're out in the world online, you may also be hearing a lot of noise about things you need to do to be a successful VA. You might be hearing that you need to find a niche. You might be thinking that you need to have an ideal client. You might be hearing that you need to cold call, or that you're going to have to approach cold calling, approach strangers and be all over social media. And you absolutely do not have to do any of that. All right. You don't have to do any of that with the approach that I teach in VA school. Now, here's the definition. Okay. So a virtual assistant provides administrative, technical, or creative assistance to clients. Okay. Administrative, technical, or creative. But instead of working full-time for one person or organization, he or she works virtually, usually from home, providing these same types of services, but to a range of people, right? A range of clients. So I want you to see how broad and inclusive this is, right? It's not some narrow thing like, social media manager, right? Social media. I have done very little social media in my career and done very well. So like I said, the other thing you probably have read is that you have to have highly technical skills to make the big bucks, right? Or that you need to know a lot of programs, or you need to know certain hard to use programs. And you don't. It's just not true. It's just not true. And I want you to know that you can provide creative services in the way of graphics, right? You can provide administrative support in the way of, general office work. And you can if you're technical, you can build websites, and you can do all of that, and you can call yourself a virtual assistant, and you can do whatever combination that you like. So it's not like, I'm an administrative VA and I can't touch websites. It's not like that at all. It's like there's so many things clients have wanted me to do over the years. And I've created my own set of skills, and that's the way it really works. So the other thing I want you to know, which might be surprising, this is true. You get to decide where you're going to work. You get to decide, who you're going to work with, when you're going to work, and you get to decide how much you make. This is very, very different from having a job. And I hear from some of you, sometimes you're afraid that you're going to be on call. You're not on call. It's not like you have a client and they expect you to be at your desk all day, and they, send you a text message and you have to answer in 10 seconds. It's not anything like that. Not anything like that. Clients will give you work. They'll give you time to do it. And you need to learn how to keep your own boundaries. That's an important part of this as well, is boundary setting and learning how to manage those boundaries. But it's different from having a job. You're not held hostage. That's how I kind of think of a job is, you have to be there at a certain time. My husband, he has a job, and the other day he was at his desk, and the guy he's working with sent him a message, and he didn't see it because he was working, and for whatever reason he didn't hear the little ding go off in the chat. And like 2 minutes later, he's typing all caps, Greg. It's like, my life doesn't run like that. It 100% doesn't run like that. Okay. So very different from a job where they expect you to be in your seat all the time. All right. So I want to talk about the spirit of virtual assistants. The other thing, guys, please put your questions in the chat. I want to hear them as we go so that we can really dive in. So does anyone have any questions about this? Is this like a big aha? I didn't know that. I thought it was a certain thing. Tell me what you think about this for sure. So this is who is a virtual assistant. VAs are helpers, we're givers, we're problem solvers. That's a big thing. We are definitely problem solvers. We're curious, We love to learn, and I'd love to hear if that's you. So let's make this interactive. I can see you guys all out there on my screen. We're streaming on LinkedIn, several places in Facebook. We're also on Twitter and YouTube. So I would love to hear where you're coming in from. Okay, and tell me if this sounds like you. You know, it's nice to be valued for qualities that come natural. Yes, love to learn. That's awesome. That's awesome. Great. Excellent. All right. I think my favorite parts are the problem. Well, all of it, but the problem solver, that really gets gets me going. And when I figure out something new, I get pretty excited. All right. So like I said, we're going to get all your questions answered, but I'm going to start with 7 questions. Okay. Or actually 6 questions. That I'm going to cover today, and then we'll answer all the rest, and we'll go deeper. So I'm going to pause in between each question to make sure you have it. Okay. So I'm going to run through them, then I'm going to go one at a time. So are you ready to work for yourself? What do you need to get started? What do VAs do for clients? How much money can I earn? Can I work part-time? And who hires VAs? Okay. Good. Hello. Oh my gosh. Hi. How are you? It has been a long time. Nice. Hello. This is an old friend I haven't talked to in a long time. That's great. Thanks for being here. All right. And tell me if you're thinking about, where are you on this VA journey? Here's the first question. Are you ready to work for yourself? Okay. Now, being a business owner and working on your own 100% comes with responsibilities. It 100% does. Now, the good news is that now you're the boss. All right. The bad news, now you're the boss. So you decide when you work, you decide who you'll work with, and you decide, how much you're going to earn. But you're also going to have to decide those things. It's like the other side of the hand. You're going to need to track the money that you earn, and you're going to need to track the time that you work, and you're going to be responsible for finding clients. And that's a big part of it. Now, to be successful, you're going to need to be self-guided. You're going to need to get yourself to your desk and be focused, right? Because being a business owner, I'm not going to kid you, it's a lot of work. It's also a lot of fun, and it's always been worth the work. 100%, it's been worth the work. Now, I want to talk about the risk of going out on your own. All right. Now, I used to think that having a job was safe until I got laid off. Right. I realized there's this thing, I call it the single point of failure, where one day somebody decides they don't need your position or you or whatever. And just like that, everything changes. Right. And then you have to start all over again. And I would love to hear if this has happened to any of you. Right? Has this happened to any of you? Probably. It's happened to me. But when you have clients, if one leaves, it's literally no big deal. It happens all the time. 2 leave, you're still okay. And that's because you're going to make sure that you have a steady stream of clients coming into your business all the time. And when this happens, you're self-reliant. Right? And so the thing is that it's way less risky to be out on your own. And here's the thing. The only person you have to depend on is you. I'm not kidding. It doesn't matter the economy, what's how the world is, because there's always entrepreneurs who need help. There's always someone's business that's growing and scaling no matter what. I mean, think about how many businesses were in a gigantic boom during the pandemic. And yes, for 2 weeks, my business was quiet. That's because everyone is freaking out, right? But man, as soon as that was over, people started to raise their head and see the opportunities. And it was something like I took too many clients on during the April, May, June timeframe of 2020, because I didn't want to turn people away. Everyone was so everything, and so I wanted to help them. I think I had it was like 11 or 12 clients, which is way too many new clients to start with in a short amount of time like that. But I just want you to know that reading the paper and hearing about all the bad things that are going on doesn't need to impact you starting your business. All right. And if you think it does, write that down, because there's going to be times when you're going to get scared and you're going to think, oh, it's the economy. It's not. Okay. It's not. That's great, Anne. I see you said yes. That's awesome. Good. And I have to say, being self-reliant, there is not another feeling like it, to know that I can generate business for myself, and even others, because there are things that I don't know how to do, and I bring other people in to help me, and that means I'm generating work for them as well. It's pretty cool. All right. So what do you need to get started? All right. So any questions about that first piece, about being a business owner? Let me know if you have them. Okay. So what do I need to get started? You don't really need that much. It's kind of crazy. You need a dedicated workspace. It's going to be a big waste of time to be, picking all your stuff up and putting it down. And I've seen people do it, and it's not easy. So what I want you to do is find a corner somewhere. Like I said, I worked in the bay window of my dining room. I worked in my bedroom. I've worked in all different rooms. And my office space generally was about this much wider than my desk. So you really don't need a lot of space at all. The other thing is, you need a computer, you need a phone. And I started with paper and pen. I mean, I had a computer, I had Microsoft Office as part of my computer. And you can have a laptop or a desktop, a Mac or a PC, it doesn't matter. And, that's the whole piece of it. And I see in a comment, I can't see who it is, but someone says, I signed up for VA school on Friday and really need some assistance getting logged in. I would be so happy to help you. Shoot me an email. Here, let me tell you where to put that. Right here. If you shoot me an email right here, Belinda at the VA Connection, I will help you as soon as we are finished. Okay. Good. Good. Congratulations too for signing up. I'm excited. Okay. All right, great. So, and the reason I say that is because I can't see who this is. Awesome. Good. Okay. All right. Now you need to be able to talk about your work in a clear way. Okay. A clear, simple way, so that people understand what you do and they remember. And we talk a lot about that in VA school. The formula that I use. So if you guys were watching the challenge last week and or you wanted to watch the challenge and you didn't have time, you can go over to the VA Connection /replay. And there's a 3-hour recap of the whole week right at the top. There's also a workbook there. And I talk in detail about how to talk about your work. You want to say something really simple like, I'm a virtual assistant. I work with entrepreneurs. I help them with all the admin pieces of their work, like PowerPoint presentations, website updates, and email newsletters. And I'm just reaching for my sticker here. And then you want to stop talking. And we went into a lot of detail about that, because what happens is we tend to overwhelm people when we talk about our work, especially when we're new, because we're trying to get hired in that moment. And it doesn't happen that way. It just doesn't happen that way. So you can just let that go and relax and just tell people what you do. Okay. Now, the other thing you need to be crystal clear on is your pricing. When you're going to get paid, how much you're going to get paid, and you need to be able to talk about it. You can't just sheepishly say to someone, great, I'd love to work with you. Yeah, oh, my prices are on my website. It's time for the, big girl panties. You have to be able to look at someone and say, this is how much I charge. Right. And then again, with the stop talking, you don't want to go into too much detail, but this is really important. Okay. I should have worn it today. Maybe I'll wear it tomorrow. We have #stop talking t-shirts. I have to tell you, it works in business and it works in relationships. So just think about, what you're saying before you say it. All right. Good. So pricing, you need to be crystal clear. If you guys missed it, so here's what's been going on. For the last 2 weeks, we've had all kinds of free training to celebrate the doors of VA school being open. And if you're in the Kickstart Challenge Facebook group, you can see there's a section called the guides. There are all kinds of bonus sessions there. And one of them is called Virtual Assistants and Money. There's another one all about the debit card system, which is how I get paid up front. I don't have to invoice. I don't chase money ever. And that is all of those bonus sessions are right there. Okay, good. Any questions about this? Okay. So I want to talk about what VAs do for clients. And sometimes this is really, it's kind of confusing how it works. So let me break it down. So you are out in the world and you tell people about your business. And well, here, you know what? I'm going to give you an example. So my very first client, I met him at the school bus stop. I've known him for a while. He asked me what was new. I said, "Oh, I'm starting a business doing admin work." And he had just started his own business. I had no idea. I thought he had a job. So what happens is, he says, "Let's talk." And I'm like, "Great." So we talk. We figure out how much I'm going to get paid because he was my first client. I wasn't clear, which is not a great idea, but it worked out. So this wasn't virtual, but the same, because I was just trying to figure it out. But the thing is that all of this now happens virtually. So he said, "Can you pay my bills?" I'm like, "You bet." So I went into his bank account and I had a stack of bills and I paid them. I set up his QuickBooks because I knew how to do that. You don't have to know how to do that. It was one of my skills. And I did shopping for him online and I got supplies. I took things to the post office. I mean, it was very commonsensical kinds of things. Now, my next client was virtual, and what he wanted me to do was, it was a hybrid. He wanted me to set up a way for people to register for an event. He'd had some ideas on how we were going to do that, and they were going to take payment. And so I figured it out. I set it up for him. And then after we had all the registrations and everything, I met him at the event. We live near each other, about an hour away. And we met at the event, and I sold his books in the back of the room. And I gave out the handouts and things like that that I had made in Word. And afterward, we got a cup of tea, and he said, "I want to do webinars. I want to do this online." And I said, "That sounds great. Good for you. I have no idea how to do that." And he said, "I want you to figure it out." And so he paid me to figure out how to do events like this. And it's not that hard. It's 20 jillion times easier now than it was 12 years ago, because, Zoom wasn't even a thing, and StreamYard, and, all the different ways that people do that. So at that point, we talked on the phone, things came in an email, we went back and forth, and we started to have a series of webinars that were very, very successful and lucrative for him. And I learned how to do it. So it was great. So some of the other things that you might do for a client, and I've been paid a lot of money to do these very basic things, are creating PDFs, scheduling appointments. That can be very lucrative. Monitor email inboxes. And you might be thinking, why would anyone want you in their inbox? Oh my gosh, you guys. Just so for the VA connection, not Rocket Girl Solutions is my virtual assistant business. The VA connection is where I teach you guys how to, start, grow, and scale your businesses as virtual assistants. I have my VA, Mandy, one of my team members. She goes in and she organizes it for me, because it is very overwhelming to get up in the morning and have 150 new emails. So she goes through and she's like, "This goes here, this goes here." And I just sit down. I'm like, okay, I can do this. And a lot of people need that. A lot of people need it. And it's not because I don't know how to do it. And it's not because my clients don't know how to do it, although some don't. It's because I want to spend my time here with you. And your clients want to be working on other things as well. So it's not that they don't know how, but it's so valuable that you do, because then they can do other work. Okay, so they can really leverage themselves. Research, done a ton of research. Can you tell me the best way to get an electronic signature on a document? And it could be that you already know because you've done this before, or you could just go do some research and figure it out. All right, sending invoices. Most of the time, well, actually, I'm going to say all the time, if a client wants you to send invoices, they have a process. They'll either say, go into my QuickBooks and here's the login and here's how you do it and let me show you what I want. Or they'll say, do it on a Word document. Here's a list of all the invoices. Whatever it is, they're going to give you instructions. Okay. Same with paying bills. Same exact thing with paying bills. Now, these things are, a lot of them you guys already know how to do, or you can figure it out with a quick Google search. And yes, 100%, absolutely, there are going to be clients who want you to do something highly technical. And here's the thing, you can learn those skills too if you're interested. Okay, if you're interested, you don't need to master them to make a lot of money. The majority of my career has been doing things like PowerPoint, documenting Word documents, or updating Word documents, scheduling, updating websites, which is a lot simpler than it sounds, and email newsletters. I'm sure I've made the most of my money, revenue with email newsletters. And I don't mean writing them. I mean putting the content from the client that they give me into software. Okay. Now, if you want to learn more about what virtual assistants can offer, you can go over to my website, thevaconnection.com, and you can download this 14-page guide packed with over 100. I think it's like 130 services you can offer to clients. So go to thevaconnection.com, and it's thevaconnection.com, and it's right about in the middle. It says something like powerful resources for your business, and you'll see this cover. Go ahead and do that. Now, keep in mind, it doesn't. It's not a to-do list of all the things you need to know. It's a way for you. It's categorized by it's by topic, I guess, so that you can organize by categories. What I meant to say, so that you can go through and look and see all the things that you can offer. All right. Now, it doesn't matter if you've never worked in an office. It 100% does not matter if you've never worked in an office to be successful. You can have been a school teacher, a healthcare worker. You can work in retail, in a restaurant. You can be a bartender. You don't have to have had experience in an office at all. Okay. So if you're sitting there thinking, I can never do this, it's not true. Okay. All right. Oh, good. Thank you, Debbie. She says, it's awesome, packed full of things you may know or can learn. That's right. That's right. 100%. Good. All right. Okay. Now, I want to talk about how much money can you earn? Okay. How much money can you earn? And believe it or not, this depends more on your confidence than your skills. So when I started out 12 years ago, my hourly rate was $50 an hour. I was making $100,000 in my job, and when I got laid off, and I thought, you know what, my brain is my brain. They're using my brain. It's $50 an hour roughly, and I had no trouble getting clients because I could confidently talk about my price, and I could talk about my work, in the ways that we talked about in the how to get started. And then over time, I raised my rates, and my current rate is $90 an hour, and I've been successfully charging that for between 35 and 37 hours a week of billable time. So that gets you to that $100,000 mark. And I want to tell you that you can raise your rates over time. You can start out at a number that feels, I want it to be a little uncomfortable, because you guys will go out at like $20 an hour, and you do not need to do that. You can start way higher than that. But you can raise your rates over time. And that's what I did, because I was scared. I was scared that, as soon as I raised them to 60, no one would show up, or 70 or 80. And that's just not true at all. It's not true at all. There's been no slowdown. So there's two other things I want to tell you. One is that you don't have to pay your dues. There are no dues. You can start out charging whatever, let's say you charge $35, $40 an hour. You're just getting started, and you don't have any experience as a virtual assistant. It doesn't matter, because this is not a job. It's not a job. Like, think about it this way. What if I bought a window washing company, and the window washing company, I've never hired one, but let's say that it's $70 a window. Okay. And because I'm new, I'm not going to charge $20 a window. I don't think they charge that way, but you get my point. Window washing costs this much, and this is how much my window washing costs, and that's just the deal. So the guy doesn't have to be in business as a window washer for a while. He can just start washing windows, and it just goes for all different industries if you think about it, So keep that in mind, because a lot of people are shy and they think, oh, I'm new. You're not a new human. You're not a new human, and these are human skills. Good. Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you, if you've been in business for a while and you're not getting traction, and you're telling yourself it's just going to take time, time's not the issue. So if that's you, That's not the problem. It doesn't take time. What it takes is getting out in front of enough people to get your business going. And all of these things are things that we've covered in the challenge last week. And you can go check the replay out, the vaconnection.com/replay, or come on over to VA School and we will dive right in. Okay. All right. So can I work part-time? Absolutely. But you're going to need to consider the types of work. So for example, if your client wants you to monitor their email inbox, you're going to need to be sitting at your desk or checking in several times a day during traditional work hours, right? But if your client wants you to update their website, that can be done anytime, day or night, right? Anytime, day or night. So you just need to set expectations with your clients about when you're available. Now, if they give you the website updates and say, can I have it in 3 days? You don't need to tell them you did it at midnight. You don't need to go there, but you just, you say, all done, right? And the other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set a consistent schedule so that they'll know when to expect to hear from you. So if they send you something on Monday at 4 o'clock, but you're not going to be at your desk again until Tuesday at noon, it's good to know that. And it's going to go very far in creating solid relationships with your clients. Okay. But it's not at all difficult to work part-time. I've worked full-time from the beginning, but I could have, I could have just taken on fewer clients and, put the work into pockets of time that I had in my schedule. All right. Any questions about this before we go forward? And if you have a question and you're shy about it, or you think, oh, this is ridiculous, just ask it anyway. I won't put it up on the screen who it is. I'm happy to get your questions answered because I know it's confusing, right? Like, what is this exactly? All right. And then I also want to talk about who hires virtual assistants. You guys, pretty much anybody. So my clients have been authors, financial planners, coaches, so business coaches, consultants, so people who go into other businesses and consult. I have a client actually I had 2 clients who are nutritionists, recruiters, right? A lot of people do these businesses on their own. Real estate agents, online course creators, there's a lot of people out there. And think about this. So for a lot of my clients, they used to be in corporate. So they leave corporate because they want to start their own thing. And they're used to having like a team, right? They're used to having the IT department and the marketing department and all the things. And they're really good at the work, but they don't know how to support all the things that need to happen in the background. So they go out on their own and they don't need someone full-time for sure. They don't want someone in their home because they don't, right? So that's who my clients are. They're people just like that who need the support. They have a business and they want me to work for them. And some clients will need me, an hour a day. Some clients will need me, a couple of times a month. And the thing is, that's why you want to get really good at getting a steady stream of clients in your business because you don't want that single point of failure, right? You don't want that single point of failure where you have 2 clients, and because life changes. My biggest client, typically every year he's paid me between $17,000 and $20,000. 3 weeks ago, he said to me, I'm going to retire. And I'm like, okay. And it's no problem. There was no panic. There was no any of that. If anything, what happened was I thought, oh, I'm really going to miss him. I like this work. But other work will fill in quickly. And I have enough clients that it's not going to make a big difference. Okay, good. All right. So I'm going to jump in now. If you like what you've heard and you're thinking this sounds pretty good, but you have no idea how to get started, I am 100% here to help you. So I've created a program called VA School, so that instead of building your business on your own, you can have support, accountability, partnership, community, someone to answer your questions, a specific formula to follow, so you can skip over all the trial and error that I had when I was first starting out, and get down to business. So VA School will provide this, and VA School will give you an exact blueprint, and VA School is working directly with me. So if you decide to do that, you're going to get where you want to be faster. than you can on your own. I had a mentor and a coach in 2010 and since then as well when I was starting out, because I didn't know what to do, and I was overthinking everything, and I was wasting time. And time is money, right? Time is money because, when you're working, it's coming in. When you're not, because you don't know what to do, it's like the money you could have earned is like, it's like, floating away, right? It's like it's floating away. So some of you have been hanging out with me for the last week or so, and you know that VA school enrollment is closing tomorrow at midnight. So I want to talk about what that could mean for you if that's for you, and then we'll come back to any questions you guys have. All right, good. So if you want to hear more, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. So VA school is a 9-month program where you're going to learn exactly what you need to start, manage, and scale your VA business without feeling confused or overwhelmed about your next steps. We talk about them every week. What's next? What's next? You're going to find everything is easy to implement, and there's nothing that's going to require you to be someone that you're not. And if you follow the steps, you will absolutely have a successful business. So I created VA school as a labor of love. I really wanted to help other women have the success that I had, because when I looked around, a lot of people were struggling with their VA business, and I just thought, this is not necessary. It doesn't have to be this way. So I've poured everything I know about running a successful VA business into this program. So the program is going to give you accountability, right? Everybody needs accountability. I need accountability. It's going to help you get your business off the ground. And imposter syndrome was something that I struggled with. Like, who am I? What am I going to offer? I have no idea what people are going to pay me for. And it just didn't make sense to me. And what happens when I am overwhelmed or I don't know what to do, I get really confused, and then I don't think clearly, and it's hard to know what to do next. And so VA school really helps you by offering clear, practical steps and advice from me, someone who's been there on a regular basis. All right, so let's jump in. There's 2 parts of VA school, okay? The first part are the pre-recorded videos. You get this as soon as you sign up for VA school, over 70 pre-recorded videos that you can access anytime. You also get a bunch of bonuses, which I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes. And this part of VA school is self-paced. So you can move at any speed that's right for you. And you have unlimited access to this part of the program beyond the 9 months, okay? Each lesson has a video, a transcript, and an MP3, so we can meet you whatever your learning style, okay? Everything you need is right here. So there are 10 modules. Here are the first 5. We have an orientation. We lay the groundwork for your business. We talk about choosing your services. We dive into getting great clients. And then we talk about pricing. The next 5 modules are Marketing 102, which is leveraging, really leveraging your business and getting it to the next level. Module 7 is Legal and Financial Management. We have my husband, who's a CPA, come in, and he has some presentations. He answers questions all about accounting and setting up your business, and LLC, sole proprietor, all that kind of stuff that's really confusing. We also have a business insurance expert come and talk to us a couple of times during VA school. And in fact, he's coming Friday the 3rd, I believe, to talk to the students of VA school. And he is also going to be giving a presentation and is available to talk to you one-on-one about your insurance needs. On Module 8 is Website Essentials. So we talk about what you should include, what's not so great to include. We talk about, and once your website is done, I will critique it for you. I will absolutely critique it for you. And then Module 9 is Tool Time. So what are the tools you need to run your VA business, note-taking and time tracking. And I talk about all of that, how to be billable, as much as possible, how to handle your time. And then managing the day-to-day is Module 10. And that's about, how to go on vacation, how to fire a client, things like that. Okay. And everything is available to you unlimited. Then there's another, so that's part one, right? That's the self-paced. There's also 16, we're going to talk about the templates. There's also in VA School 16 templates that you'll need to run your business on. And I'll just put that thought on hold for a minute. So study hall is part of the live portion. Lives, we're on Zoom all the time. So we've got 3 opportunities for study hall where we get together. Where we get together, and here's how it works. So for the first couple of minutes, we have quick wins. And then after that, what happens is I bring a topic that we teach. It might be how to fire a client. It might be, someone's asking the question, how to round up your time. It could be, how your cell phone can really help your VA business, things like that. And then what we do is we have a discussion and we open it up for questions. The study halls last about an hour, sometimes a little more, depending on how many questions we have. And it's a great time to come together in the community and get to know each other. Students love this, and it's totally the highlight of my week. Totally the highlight of my week. And for those of you who have been hanging around with me for a while, I mean, think about how much having 9 months of access and get any question that you have answered could really move your business. So this is on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We have a time, evening, afternoon, and then morning, so that everybody can have a chance to attend one session at least, but you can come to all of them for sure. Then on Monday afternoon, I go into my Zoom room, and students can come in and ask any questions. So it's just a time where you pop in. I have this 5-minute question. I'm going to leave. See you later. Or you can stay the whole time. And it's nice coming off the weekend, because sometimes, we're working on our businesses and it's like, God, I just have this one question. I just want to ask this and then I want to go. So that's nice as well. So I want to spend some time, a couple of minutes, talking about how this program is different, especially if you've tried other courses and you weren't able to make headway. VA school students actually have access to me. I know everybody's name. I know where they are in their journey. I know what their roadblocks are, and we work together to move them out of the way. And that's because we spend so much time in study hall. So, and like I said, we do it on Zoom. It's not like this where, there's like a wall between us. It's like we're in the same room, and there's usually like 12 or 15 people in the study hall or office hours at a time. And if that number grows as VA school gets bigger, we'll just add another session. Okay. The other thing that's really different about this program is the Facebook group. I am in the Facebook group. I'm answering questions pretty much, every day, sometimes not on the weekends, but so you guys don't have to wait to get your questions answered. And it's not a thing where it's like, wait 24 hours and then a member of our team will answer you. It's not like that at all. Okay. And people really form friendships. They help each other. And I've seen it, friendships, I can tell are going to last a lifetime, really are going to last a lifetime. And so, and because of this spirit and because of the people who sign up, no one's left behind, and you don't have to do this alone. Working on your own and owning a business, it's not easy. It's not easy. So, I really invite you to get the support, that not only the support you need, but the community that makes it all easier. All right, so I want to talk about bonuses. I've included them because I think having them at your fingertips is going to get your business off the ground faster and simpler, and it's going to make you more successful. So the first bonus is, it's called the debit card system. And this is a standalone program that sells for $300. And it's the way that you get paid upfront. And like I mentioned before, there's a whole hour-long bonus on this in the Kickstart Challenge VA School Kickstart Challenge Facebook group up in the guides. But it's a system of setting your price. Clients buy the time. you report back to them how much you track your time, you report back to them how much time they have left, and then they buy more time. So I'm never saying, hey, you're out of time. It's just a standalone system, and I'm not sending invoices, none of that. The system that I have set up sends a receipt to the client and you're all done. So super, super simple. So this is a whole standalone course, including all the words that I say to my clients, meaning there's emails that go out about the debit card. There's wording on your website about it. All of that is included in the course. And again, there's videos and MP3s in there. The second one is the Done For You email newsletter system. And we did a bonus training on that on Tuesday, which is also in the Facebook group. And this is a course that's going to teach you how to do an email newsletter for your business so you can start spreading the word about your business. And what's also going to happen is potential clients are going to see how beautiful your newsletter is, and they're going to see how consistent you are and fabulous, and they're going to hire you to do theirs. And you're already going to know how to do it, even if you don't know how to do it right now. In addition to that, because I don't want anything to get in your way, there's a template included, so you can just pull the template in literally with a click of a button. And also there are 12 newsletters written for you so that you can start sending out newsletters right now. The third is the template library. There are 16, we just added one. There are 16 templates, and this has a value of $300. Templates that I use every single day in my business, including my client welcome letter, calculators in Excel to help you choose your hourly rate. Also, there's an Excel spreadsheet that helps you track your revenue for the year and can project out how much you're going to make based on what you're currently doing. There's a home office checklist, and scripts of what to say to clients when you want to raise your prices. So things that I use and have used in my business over the years. The fourth thing we talked about is it's actually 9 months. VA school used to be 6 months. And then in November, we changed it to 9 months. I wanted to give people more time, and I wanted to lower the payment plan so people would find it more affordable and be able to attend if they wanted to. So it's for 9 months. The Rocket Girl Show Vault, that's valued at $1,000. It's a collection of short videos between 5 and about 15 minutes, all about how to run your business. So that's just sort of a bonus that you can, all of this is available on your phone. There's an app, all of this is in something called Kajabi, and there's a Kajabi app that's free. And you can download it, and you can take those videos and you can listen to them when you're on walks. They're or in the car, on the treadmill, and they're all organized by category. And we're adding new videos all the time to that. And then bonus number 6 is unlimited lifetime course updates. The course has been improved greatly since we started. There are other improvements in the works right now. One of the things we just did last time was there's about 200 pages of transcripts. We have transcripts for all of the videos, and we downloaded those, and I hired a VA school student who's an amazing proofreader and editor, and she edited all of those documents, and then we re-uploaded them into the program. I heard that some people were printing them out, and I was like, let's look at what that is. So they've all been updated. So that's pretty exciting. So lots of things like that are happening all the time. And the total for all of this, if you add it up, is $9,000. And if you want to pay in full, we're offering this for $1,697. So it's the investment you'll make to get your VA business off the ground with my help. And we're also offering a payment plan, 9 payments of $197. So we're keeping it under $200 to make it simple. And we're going to be kicking off on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have VA school orientation. And I'd love to have you get started with me. As soon as you sign up, you get access to all those 70 pre-recorded videos. And then the live sessions start on Tuesday, and they are available for 9 months. And everything is recorded. And you have you have access to it. So there are some students that are not able to make the live sessions and go on to be highly successful because they can watch the replays and listen to them, whenever they're available. Okay. So I'm just thinking if there's anything else I want to tell you. I would love for you to text me if you are on the fence and you're thinking, I'm not sure, I have a couple of questions, will this be for me? I'll also tell you that this can work anywhere in the world. We have had students in Canada, Chile, Mexico, Finland, Estonia, I should have written this down, the UK, Amsterdam, Malaysia, New Zealand, Australia, and probably some other places too. We have a student right now in Ghana. So all over the world, 100%. In fact, there's a woman, Svetlana, she's from South Africa, and I saw in the Facebook group that she had a big win. So it works in South Africa too. So you can text me. It's my cell phone number. It's also my WhatsApp if you want to talk. No pressure, not a sales call, just a conversation. Okay, good. And then I want to tell you we're having a bonus. Our last bonus session is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm going to bring some graduates in for a panel. These 4 women have been VAs for a while, all started from scratch. Actually, Leanne did not. Leanne already had a business. She was a VA for 11 years when she joined VA school and was able to make monumental changes to her business and the way that she was able to make money. But Karen and the rest of the women, Jennifer and Carrie, sorry, brain bubble, were really starting from scratch, and they've really nailed it. All right, so this is what you need to know. So I'm going to answer your question, how do you round up with time? So the way that I do that is if someone asks me a quick yes/no question and I have not, so I wonder if this is your question, but I'll give it a shot and then you let me know. So I round up my time to the nearest 5 minutes. I mean, that's the short answer. You can spend your day doing things that take 2 minutes. And they do have value. And so I want to make sure that I'm compensated for that. So if it's a quick yes, no, I charge 5 minutes. If I have to think about it, I charge 10. And as soon as I start opening up applications, it's 15 minutes plus whatever it takes. So if it's, can you upload a new image of me to my website? I can probably do that in 7 minutes. It'll be 15 minutes. If it takes 30 minutes, then it's 30 minutes. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know in the chat if that was your question. All right, you guys. Good. So have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy yourself. Do something fun. I'm about to go for a nice long walk, and then I will be ready to roll tomorrow. It's our last day to sign up for VA school. I would love to have you. So if you're on the fence and you're not sure, come on over and shoot me a text, 617-755-6010, and I would love to talk to you. All right, have a good day, you guys. Bye for now.